What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sean.
My name is Colin.
And we are My Wealth Creators. And today, we want to talk about
Objection.
Yeah.
I already have insurance.
What now?
What now? Or I don't want anymore.
Yeah. We deal with objections pretty much every day. So some of the most common things that we heard is I already have insurance. What now? And I think today, what we want to do is we want to share with you guys out there what you can do if you already have insurance. So one of the first things you can do is number one, look at each of your policy lah. So maybe Colin, you want to share a little bit about what age of policy is?
Okay, so age of policy is depending on when you got your policy. All right, so let's say, take me for example. I think some of us out there may resonate with this. My parents got me my policy when I was 18 years old. Okay, that's easily about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And at 18 years old, I got 100,000 on my medical coverage,
Okay.
annual limit of 100,000,
Yeah.
and a lifetime limit of 300,000.
And
You laugh, but that was what I got.
Okay, so what do you have now? What do you have now?
Right? Okay, so age of policy is, yeah. So 10 years ago, that was probably pretty good.
Yeah.
But fast forward to today, right now we are looking at a minimum of 1.5 million
Okay.
annual limit
Yeah.
and no lifetime limit
Mm.
on our medical coverages.
So you
Right.
look at the annual limit, it's 15 times more lah.
15 times more. So you think about that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why we want to look at the age or when we got our policy,
Yeah.
and then we want to make sure we upgrade and keep with the times lah, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, yeah, like what Colin mentioned, I think, like for me, because I like cars, so let's talk about cars lah. So, at 18 years old, if let's say the parents say, okay, Colin, we give you this car at 18 years old, 10 years down the road, if it's like a old car, I mean, 18 years old, they're going to give you like a second-hand car lah. I don't think they give you like a brand new car lah. But if it's a second-hand car, 8 years down the road, the car's going to be giving problems.
Yeah.
And you will be like, okay, if you can afford, you'll be thinking like, okay, maybe I may need to upgrade my car, because sometimes old cars, they start taking a lot of petrol,
Yeah.
right? So it's not so convenient as compared to newer cars nowadays, right?
Or they might not be able to bring you to Singapore if you want to drive there.
Yeah, correct. Like
long
cars may
distance.
not. I mean, there is depreciation. Sorry, there are depreciations. There will be depreciations over time, and I think with insurance, it's very similar. So I think something that you need to take note for you is to identify when you purchase the policy, especially if your parents purchase the policy for you. It's good for you to make sure that your policy is updated,
Yeah.
because similar to cars, policies will not last very long lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure that your policy is updated. Make sure the amount is sufficient, not just 10 years ago, but for today. Make sure that you know what type of policy you have lah. It's not just a standalone medical card, but make sure it's a policy that is suited to your current, current update lah. Okay. So second one is stage of life. Okay, so Colin, what is stage of life?
Okay, so every one of us goes through different stages of life.
Yes.
So all of us grew up starting off as a baby, grew
Yeah.
up as a kid, and usually needs when you were a kid can easily be covered by maybe just a simple standalone medical card.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's cheap.
Cheaper,
It's
yeah,
affordable,
correct.
right? But as you grow older, your needs change. Take for example, if you're looking to start a family, you want to make sure that your spouse is covered. Like maybe your wife is having enough female coverage.
Yeah.
So if let's say if you want to get a kid,
Correct.
we want to make sure you're covered for any female complications, birth
Yeah.
complications, things like that. So at least you have the funds, you're protected,
Correct.
And
correct.
I think insurance companies nowadays, they're getting more competitive, and also we want to give you value for your money.
Yeah.
So that's why we are keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
Of making sure, real life situations, you are being covered.
Correct. Yeah. It's very
Right.
true. And I think, like what Colin said, I think as insurance companies, companies are very much aware now that the times have changed so much than previously. I mean, if you look at the early beginnings of insurance, you only get that benefit when you pass on lah, right? But nowadays, insurance companies are giving you benefits even when you are still alive. And I think that's just understanding with the times. And so if you say that, okay, I already have an insurance policy, what do I need to do? You need to identify the stage of life that you're in. Like what Colin mentioned earlier, at 18 years old, the policy that he has may not be sufficient or may not apply to the current position that he's in. You know, working right now, hoping to get married, hopefully in the future, right? So there's a different planning in life already. Why? Because the things that he wants now is very different from back then. Now he's looking at getting a house, probably a new car. Back then, 18 years old, you just want to know when you're going to play football. When is your next steamboat
Exam.
barbecue? When's your next exam, right? So your needs change quite a fair bit. And so that's why it's very important to understand. So if you go back to cars, right, at 18 years old, maybe he would be driving a 2-seater Mazda MX-5, Mazda Miata. Right now, if you give him a 2-seater, it may not be as, you know, well equipped as how he would want it,
It
because
won't suit my needs.
yeah, it won't suit his needs.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're looking at getting married, having kids. In a Mazda, you know, MX-5 or a Mazda Miata, where are the kids going to be sitting, right? So that's why it's important for you to understand what stage of life you're in, and to make sure that your insurance policy is suited to that current stage of life that you're in.
Yeah.
So like what Colin mentioned. So do take
True.
note of the stage of life. Last but not least, people who already say, oh, I already got like 100,000 coverage life, right, or whatnot. But what we're gonna look at is to look at savings and also with extra coverage. So Colin, you want to walk us through with that portion?
I think when you talk about savings in insurance, it's not really something that is talked about a lot or even considered a lot.
People naturally just don't look at the insurance as
I think when
savings.
we talk about, you know, investing, growing your money, savings, you know, we think more on maybe putting money into crypto, into fixed deposits,
Bitcoin, probably mutual stocks, shares, and all that.
Things like that. Why? Because the risks are higher, the returns are higher as well, right? But what I want to share, what we want to share is that in insurance there is an avenue or a basket where you can set aside money for it to grow.
Yeah.
On top of that, you also get life coverage.
Yeah. You get very high coverage for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get best of both worlds. Right? So need I say more?
Correct. And I think and I think when it comes to like savings, you can never have enough. I mean, if let's say you were to invest in crypto and you make like $1,000, the higher chances is that people want to reinvest, right? So I think the beauty of like we mentioned, the beauty of insurance nowadays is they understand the needs right now, and I think what we can do is to provide very high coverage. I think with the minimum of 350,000, you can go up to like 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million, and the whole reason is, it also ties in with identifying which stage of life you're in, especially if you are earning income, right? If you're earning income, you're bringing money home. And I like what Colin mentioned. You know, when you're married, you want to make sure that your wife is sufficiently covered, especially with like female benefits and all that. Why do we want to do that? Is because when you're married, it's not just one person bringing in income anymore. It's two people bringing in income. So what happens if, let's say, you have two hands and one hand gets tired? Then this hand gets even more tired if you're carrying something, right? So it's identifying what stage you're in, and I think the beauty of having that extra coverage while savings is to be able to build your current cash that you have, and at the same time protect yourself with at least $500,000. It doesn't matter whether you are 35 years old, 30 years old, 28 years old. If you just started working, if you can afford to have that $500,000 coverage, I think that propels you like 3 to 4 steps further in terms of the planning that you have with your insurance. And I think that is something that like what Colin mentioned, that's something that you probably will need to take note lah. So
definitely.
Anything else, Colin, you wanna?
No, I think that's it. I think we were just discussing earlier that we wanna dive a little bit deeper into savings.
Correct.
It's just a realm that is not really explored a lot, so I think we want to shed some light into that.
So that will be coming very soon, so do stick around. I think somewhere in the future, won't tell you when, but somewhere in the future we will be releasing a podcast on savings in insurance, how it works, and why it is an added revenue that you can use to grow your money. So don't forget to hit the like button, give us a comment, don't forget to hit subscribe if you can. If you have fingers, don't forget to do that. Yeah, do give us a comment. We would really love to interact with you guys and see some of the comments that you have. But once again, my name is Sean.
My name is Colin.
We are My Wealth Creators, and thanks again for sticking around in our podcast. We'll see you in the next one.